Samsung's 2017 Q9F QLED was a remarkable TV. It paired features that we'd never seen before with picture quality that was the best we'd seen from an LCD TV so far. But it still suffered from all the same problems that LCD TVs have suffered from for ages. So when we compared it to OLED TVs at the time, the OLED TVs won out pretty handily, at least in terms of picture quality. Now, the 2018 Q9F QLED from Samsung is an entirely different monster. They threw a few new features at it, but they significantly boosted the picture quality. In fact, I've said in the past that it's the closest to OLED I've seen so far. And when I have said that, I've been met with a lot of disbelief, and I understand why. It is hard to believe. So in this comparison video, we're going to try to show you the improvements that were made from 2017 to 2018 to deliver some kind of impact behind just how big of an improvement it actually is. Let's start with the stand. The 2017 version used 2 feet left and right of a slim tubular metal, and it had a wider stance, but it's very unobtrusive and pretty sleek. The 2018 version uses a sort of box-style stand protruding from the front of the TV, and I've heard a lot of negative comments about this. I'm not sure why. I like it just fine. What's interesting, though, is that it has a much smaller, centralized footprint, and I see a lot of people also complaining about the wide footprint of a lot of other TV brands' television. So I'm not sure which is more important to you, but I certainly wouldn't avoid buying this TV just because of the stand. The bezels are exactly the same. Very trim gunmetal accent around the edges with a slight little black border around the screen. The profile of the TV's almost exactly the same, except for the 2018 is a little bit thicker. It's got a slightly more rounded, bubbled out back than the 2017, and that's because it has a full array local dimming backlight system. The One Connect boxes are quite a bit different too. The 2017 version is a lot slimmer and quite a bit lighter, and that's because the 2018 version actually has the power supply built in, so it's both bulkier and quite a bit heavier. The advantage, though, is that the power can actually be passed up through this One Connect cable, which is a little bit thicker than the prior year, but still virtually disappears on the wall, and that means installation is going to be a whole lot easier. Digging into the user interface, it's mostly the same, but the 2018 model has an auto setup mode that uses the Samsung SmartThings app to get you logged onto Wi-Fi, and with the coming update, will also log you into the streaming apps you use. No more username and password entry. The 2018 version is also able to detect when you connect a gaming console and automatically make adjustments to reduce input lag and optimize the picture for games. Apparently, this is signal-based, so even if you're playing a movie on your Xbox or PlayStation, the TV knows it isn't a game and doesn't make the switch. Real quick, to level the playing field for this video, we're leaving the camera settings the same for each comparative scene. That may exacerbate or minimize certain effects on each TV, but it makes sense for showing off the performance differences. Now for the part you're all waiting for, the picture quality comparison. I can boil down the differences pretty quickly for you. If we run this test pattern on the 2017 Q9F, you can clearly see edge light blooming around the bright box moving around the screen. The halo effect on the 2018 is dramatically minimized when you're on axis and still notably minimized when viewed off axis, though there is a shift here. The result is better blacks and sharper lines in high contrast scenes. It's not OLED level exactly, but it's the closest to OLED I've seen yet. As for color, the improvement is less dramatic, but it's still noticeable. The color shift off axis is far less significant, and when you pair that with the improvement of off-axis contrast, it makes a huge impression. Overall, the 2018 version is quite a bit brighter, and that's no surprise because of its full array local dimming backlight system. So you get better contrast control, but you retain those really intense HDR highlights. Now, individually, the improvements may not seem like big ones, but when you combine them all together, what you get is a significantly higher performance TV from the 2018 Q9F. So if when you're watching this video you can still find a 2017 Q9F for sale, it will be significantly less expensive than the 2018 version. Should you get it? Well, I would. It's an outstanding TV. But if the differences that we've shown off today are important to you, the 2018 version is definitely a superior television. You're just gonna have to pay a little more for it. It'll come down in time, so if you can wait, maybe it's worth doing that. One way or the other, the 2018 version is going to give you a couple of things. One, huge bragging rights, and 2, the best LCD TV picture quality you'll get this year.